about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, after they're married. So I'm gonna do a small piece. So before I start, it's finals week. Some of you all are really stressing out. So I have condoms and most likely don't use it for a long time. If you're not going to use any of the lube, where's Nico? Give it to him. I had a whole piece about making fun of him and how he has nothing left to do in his life but use the lube. His roommates though, he has nothing going on. So pass it to his roommates.
Oh my god.
We were talking about how he has no real life and social life and love life, so look at him, how he has the left muscle favorite and the other. But if you're not going to use it, and if you're not going to have sex, I know condoms are very, for males, and if you're lesbian, you're not going to probably use it, not as you would want to use it on your private. But it's okay, just if you have fun, you can use it as a water balloon. If you have a final project and you need something to be glued, there's lube. Put it together. And if you're not gonna use it and you're not gonna have sex, it's okay. Swallow. There you go. Right? Yeah. I don't believe in genocide, so just millions of kids go around, just go all the way down. But, and people are like, oh my god, you're talking about sex, and you're talking about, none of you are innocent, just shut up. You haven't had sex, you probably watched porn, or you jacked off, or whatever you've done on your spare time, so you're not doing anything else having sex. But, and it's okay, like I said. Be sex positive, right? You all are adults, 18. Some of you don't act like you're 18. Some of you act like younger. Some of you act like me, like I'm way old. But it's okay, like I said. Sex is okay. Giving head, oral sex is okay. Anyone just eat pussy? Pussy back here? Some guys are like, I'm not gonna do it. But in back of the head, they're like, yeah. Cocksuckers, anybody? It's okay, just accept your identity. It's okay. But the thing is, when you're giving head, and I did this show, like I said, in Long Beach, I called this piece, it's okay to give head the joy of giving head, right? Guys, when you, for girls, when you eat them out, it's a whole different kind of territory, right? You have to look inside. There's different ways you touch it. Like this. And guys are like, I don't do that. I'm like, yeah, you don't do that, and that's why all the girls are like, yeah, we used to be trained by you. And it's like I said, it's okay. Guys, when you're going down on the girls, actually get to know them first. Don't be like, going down there, eating like a buffet at the end house. It's like they don't there all the time. So if you're going down, oral sex is different from regular sex. Like regular sex, you can just hump a tree, hump it like there's no tomorrow, like you don't even have to look at the person's face. But oral sex has a whole different kind of intimacy, right? You're actually putting someone's private parts into your mouth, right? You're either eating them out or putting a dick in there. And you get to know them on a different level. You know every little crevice, every, you know, spot that turns them on, everything that makes their eyes roll back, you know, sort of like an EDC effect. But I'm not gonna, I had a friend, gay as there's no tomorrow. If you see him, he's like rainbows and unicorns. And he got really freaked out, and we went clubbing, and he decided to try a girl for once. And he's like, yeah, I eat a girl out. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's nice. You know. And they had breakfast the next day, they had brunch, and all he did the whole time we were having breakfast was, I'm like, what's wrong? I was like, I can't get the taste out my mouth. And I'm like, oh, that's why I don't touch that. But girls, you know when you're going down on a guy, or a guy if you're going down on a guy, and let me tell you, straight guys love getting head. It's the, I don't know, they're like, oh, I'm never gonna go gay, you know, I'm never, it's whatever. I had enough straight friends that look down on a gay guy, I'm like, I'm so gonna beat you up after this. Gay guys know how to get head, and that's college straight. But girls know, right? Some guys are not considerate of when you're giving head, right? There's this whole thing that shoves around your nose, and they're not trimmed, and they're not clean, and girls, you know what this is, right? When you have to do the delta force, you know what the delta force is? You put the penis in between, and you have to push the boobs down, you know, that sort of thing. It's not going like this to your nose, and you're not able to, you know, whiskers going on, right? You have to have an allergy attack, you know, right? I mean, it's true, right? Girls, you know, when you're giving head, some guys just don't trim, and it's rude. Guys, please trim, at least, you know, a little, you know, a couple inches, you know. You don't, the last thing anyone giving you head is having their nose hair tied down with your or worse, like, you know, you're going down and it's all getting stuck between their teeth. And it's okay, like, so if you go, oh my God, I don't want to talk about sex, I feel so uncomfortable right now, I'm going to pray after this. Okay, for gay guys, men are religious. Well, you're always on our knees anyways, right? Oh. Some of you are very faithful. And it's, like I said, why are we always going like, oh my God, oh, I don't want to talk about sex. No one clapped when I talked about pussy eaters or cocksuckers, right? They're like, I don't want to talk about this, I really don't want to talk about this. But at the end of the night, they're like, oh. Right now, you're all trying to be like, I'm an innocent college student. I don't do any of that stuff, whatever. And it's okay, just live up, you just own it. You're in college, 4, 5, some 7 years of experience, right? And one of the things that I really talk about is sex positivity, right? And then one of the fears that I have is sort of this prudency. Like everyone's like, I don't want to ever talk about sex in public, but every one of your roommates have heard you grunting and moaning like there's no tomorrow, right? You know, who has that roommate that can't get their shit quiet, you know, doesn't even turn on the music at night, you know, I hear it, you know, sort of thing. Like, are you hyperventilating? Are you having an asthma attack? No, I'm really sick. What? And I'm like, whoa, you know, yeah, it's okay, you've done that one. Yeah, you. It's okay, Lina. And I think for you all, when as you all go to finals, and a lot of folks always say like, oh, I have to study, I can't do it. If you have a partner, go for it. It's stress reliever, right? If you don't have a partner, there's social applications. The last thing we want is back then what happened in KD, there was a Kuya Ading for going on. Yeah, there's been those stories when Kuyas and Adings hooked up with their Adings. Ooh, Lord, those are messy. At the, like, you know, P-grad, they're like, ah, we heard you. Having a really good one-on-one with your Kuya. But like I said, be okay. There's, you know, there's condoms. Those are about to expire also in August, by the way. you all are grown ups. You all are bound to have sex. You all are bound to suck dick or eat pussy or whatever you want. Some people might even like eating ass. You never know. I don't really like that, you know, sort of thing. Just like chocolate shit coming out of there. Plastic you want. But it's okay. Just have fun. It's college. It's finals. Go for it. Eat out. Suck it out. Swallow. Whatever you need to do to de-stress, go for it. Some of you most likely will not de-stress, so talk to someone who has more lube than you and then use that lube because there's nothing else going on in your life. Talk to Nico, he knows.